Well, we're here on the west side of the Paramount. It's Thursday the 16th, and we've got this heavy-duty hydro crane here. It has a capacity of 200 tons. And they've got the truss, what we call the rigging truss, connected to the crane. 4-part line, so it can lift a lot of weight. It's about 43,000 pounds. Going to take it up and set it on these columns along the west side of the building. Eventually this truss will pick up all the load from the roof and the rigging platform currently in place up there. Right now what they're doing is they call this rattling. R-A-T-T-L-I-N-G, where they take impact wrenches and tighten up these connection bolts. They waited until they had the truss picked up with a crane before doing this. Right now the crane has the load of the truss off the ground. We've got the tag line hooked up to the north end of the truss. The truss weighs 43,000 pounds. But it's amazing what a rope will do to control it. Helps quite a bit. Okay, it's straight up noon, February 16th. Normally we'd be at lunch right now, but the timing just happened to work out. We're in the middle of raising this truss and they're finally ready to go with it, so we're going to go. We've got a JLG on each end with an ironworker in it. And when we finally get the truss up to the top of the columns, they'll use drift pins or spud wrenches to align the holes and then drop bolts into the holes. So the first guy that gets to connect has the easy job. The second connector will have the more difficult job because inevitably the lineup will not be perfect, but it should be close. I think they're within 1/4 of an inch. The crane makes no quick moves. So as the load is raised to just slightly above the top of the columns, the crane will gently, slowly start to boom down and move the truss closer to the building. Well, it's a little windy today too. The wind doesn't have a lot of effect on something as massive as that. We're getting it pretty close position-wise now. Looks like the man on the north end is going to be the first connector. He's basically got it spotted. We're using the south end. It's just the end of a final alignment. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, things just don't fit perfectly. The man on the north side, he's made his connection, or at least dropped a bolt or two, so they fixed position on the north side. On the south side, they're just a whisker long, and they've tied off these big rigging truss columns to the old building. So they're preparing to cut it loose at the top to give it just a little wiggle room to spread the trusses, spread the column at the top and get the truss to drop in. Sometimes there's just nothing left to do but to hit it with a hammer. Well, they've beat on it, they've banged on it, they've pried on it, they've cussed at it, and I think they finally just about got it to the place where it's going to fit on the south end. probably difficult for you to see, but they finally got the south end slid into position. The only thing left for them to do right now is drop some drift pins and start forcing the bolts into the holes. So it looks like it's a successful operation. We've now got 43,000 pounds of steel truss sitting high on the west end of the Paramount Theater, and the ironworkers can start connecting the old structure to the new truss with the idea of making the theater another 18 feet bigger westward.